Today we're looking at Proverbs 11 and verse 4. God's got some wisdom, especially for those who have been affluent, the rich and the wealthy. It says here, wealth is worthless in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The affluent tend to live in a bubble. They're protected from the daily troubles that plague most people. The rich can live above the law. It's not as though the law doesn't exist. You might get a parking fine, but if you're wealthy, you just pay your fine. You don't even notice that $100 or however much it was has gone from your bank account, because really it doesn't matter much to you if you don't have $100, however. Then that's a big thing. But if you're affluent, you can just let those things slide. If the crime that is committed is something larger, then you can just send your lawyers along to court to deal with the whole process. You can avoid things with your money, and if there's escalating crime rates, then you're protected, because if you're wealthy enough, you've got your personal security. You'll be living in a low crime estate. You might even be in a gated suburb, and so you don't really notice those kinds of things going on. Tonight, if you're wealthy, you don't have to decide between eating dinner and paying the gas bill. If you're wealthy, your decisions revolve around what restaurant shall we eat at tonight. All your friends are wealthy. You receive the best health care. You can even possibly buy some time. You're well connected in society. Doors open easily for you. If you're wealthy, you tend to live in a bubble. However, just when you think you've got nothing to worry about, the proverb warns about a day of wrath. Wealth is worthless in the day of wrath. Apparently, there's some trouble that you didn't count on. Some things you can't buy your way out of. When you've sacrificed your marriage on the altar of business, your lawyers may be able to negotiate a settlement, but they won't be able to fix your marriage. Money won't save your children from cocaine or alcohol, or by being influenced by the wrong people. In the day of wrath, you'll find that money can't buy what you really need. There are some things that money just can't buy. Our focus ought not to be upon our money, but upon what we can do with our money to make things right. You might be able to buy whatever you want, but doing right is the important thing. Righteousness, or doing right, delivers you from death. So do the right thing. It's not always easy to know what to do when you've got privilege. You have a multitude of options. The responsibility of the privileged is to do what's right when opportunity is granted. This will bring you true riches and protect you from death in the day of wrath. Which brings us to Jesus' little story about the wealthy man who had a great harvest and built large barns to store his wealth. And he sat back and said, "Now I can eat and drink and be merry." But God said, "You fool, tonight your soul shall be required, and who will enjoy your wealth then?" So this tells us three things. First, we never really know when we're going to be meeting our Maker. And so you want to make sure that your heart is right with God, that's the prerequisite, that's your priority, because you never really know when you're going to be facing your doom. Secondly, there's more important things in life than eating and drinking and being merry. Far more important things. And thirdly, that we need to put some real thought into the distribution of our wealth, both whilst we are productive, but also in the beyond. What's going to happen with what you've been earning and what you've been building and what you've been making? You have to consider what God would want you to do with these things once He's called you into your eternal inheritance. So these are important things to consider, and that's why we're looking at Proverbs and the wisdom that is necessary for us to be able to do right with our lives. There you go. God bless you. We'll see you soon for more wisdom out of this wonderful book.